Welcome back to the Crypto Trends Podcast, where we cover all things cryptocurrency, blockchain, Web 3.0, and AI. I'm Robert Croke, and I'm joined by my co-host, Armando Pantoja. Both of us and our amazing team are excited to bring you the best information, guidance, and strategies each and every Wednesday. So follow along and always remember to take notes and take action. So let's get into the first talking point today. Obviously, it's been a wild few days out there in the world and with everything that's going on, so let's get into it. The Trump assassination attempt explodes crypto markets overnight. Trump's election odds have surged due to the assassination attempt, and prediction markets like Polymarket have reacted strongly to these events. It's crucial for traders to stay informed as prediction markets provide valuable insights for trading decisions. So, this week's big topic is the sudden surge in Trump's election odds due to the assassination attempt. The prediction market on Polymarket has responded strongly to these events, and it's crazy how these platforms and the markets react almost instantaneously in watching prices go up and what happened in the crypto markets right after the attempted assassination.
Yeah, I like to follow the prediction markets for a lot of my decisions because I feel like the polls and all of this stuff, it's always biased, right? And I'm not saying one way or another, it's biased. Whoever's giving you information is always biased one way or another. But with prediction markets, people are putting their money on what they think is going to happen. So when people have to have some skin in the game, they're less likely to have those biases involved, right? So prediction markets are normally a good indicator of what's coming next. And somebody wrote me and you both have people DM us all the time. Somebody DM me and said, well, how do you know that uncertainty is dropping in the crypto markets? And I said, because the prediction markets are pointing to that.
Right.
It's easy. I encourage a lot of you guys to pay attention to these things because they will help you with your trading decisions. But the markets are saying that it's more likely for a Trump presidency to take place here in the next, I think it's 2 months into the election.
Yeah.
Because Trump has already said he's a pro-crypto candidate, of course crypto is going to respond positively.
Yeah, people need to understand, too, when we talk about something like this with Trump and these topics, it doesn't mean we're endorsing Trump. It just means that we're sharing our sentiment of what this means for the crypto markets. You and I both lost some followers this past week because we've been covering the news, and the attempted assassination does not mean that we agree with everything that goes on. We're just saying that it is and has had a positive effect on the crypto markets, and that's very important for everyone to understand. And it's crucial for traders to stay informed on how these societal shifts can influence the broader crypto markets. You look at it as social arbitrage trading because the markets do react very quickly, as we've discussed, to incidences like what happened with Trump the other day. So we'll keep an eye on this for sure, but it is definitely interesting to see how the market sentiment fluctuates with news of this magnitude, and it really does go against everything that we discuss and share about not having knee-jerk reactions. Now, the shooting was a tragedy, obviously, for those involved, the people that did die in the shooting, but it also, we have to look at it from what does it do and what does it mean for the crypto markets moving forward. And that's why it's a tender subject for us to cover today, but an important one as well, because market sentiment did change to a positive stature for cryptocurrency as a whole.
One thing I've noticed being around people that are very wealthy is they're not caught up in their emotions at all, or politics. They may tell you, but behind closed doors, they're very emotionless and they're making decisions based on what they think is coming next or whatever political activities are happening at the time. And that's what we have to understand, is that emotions and bias and all of these things that we have, that's for the poor people. And that's the way that's almost a system of control to keep you lost in emotions for years while they make all the money. Remember Brexit?
Yeah.
Back, I think it was like 5-10 years ago. As soon as it happened, it shocked a lot of people. And the middle class, they talked about it for days about how it was going to negatively affect everything, positively affect everything. Using the prediction markets, billionaires made a ridiculous amount of money by moving their investments based on what was happening at the time. Instead of being emotionally charged and crying and complaining or excited, they took action. And they made billions of dollars based on that, what was happening in the politics at that time. So that's something that we have to do. We can't look at it from a biased standpoint, who's right, who's wrong. I know there's right and wrong, but still you have to see what's coming next and make those decisions appropriately.
Yeah, that is a really good way to put it and break this down for our listeners, because at the end of the day, when tragedy strikes, the seasoned investors, the billionaires of the world, the banks, the hedge funds, they all look at the opportunity that comes out of a tragedy. Now, that doesn't mean that they're benign and ignoring the tragic action that occurred, but what it does mean is that they're going to capitalize off of it, as they should, because as long as you're doing things the right way in your investment thesis, there is nothing wrong with finding the opportunity in these situations. And I think that's just not just in prediction markets. We've seen crypto prices also react similarly. And this kind of news-driven trading can lead to significant short-term winnings. And it's just really all important about keeping abreast of current events. And it's really a prerequisite for modern traders to understand this in this kind of social arbitrage trading, and staying ahead and understanding that what happened the other day at the Trump rally was tragic. But there are also going to be positive opportunities that come from that. And I don't want to sound insensitive, but it's just the truth.
Yeah, and just think about a situation like this. Let's say you had an investment banker and you gave him a bunch of money to invest, right? And you heard on TV that a lot of these investment bankers made a lot of money by placing their bets based on an eventual Trump candidacy. So you call your investment banker up. You say, hey, man, did you make those trades? He said, nah, I was just angry for 4 days, so I didn't do anything. You know how mad you'd be?
Yeah.
But because his job is to make money. His job is to find those opportunities. That's your job as well, is to find opportunities in these big situations. You can't be held down by emotion, anger, fears. You can't do that and be successful going forward.
Yeah, but if you look at a major portion of society, and this is something maybe we should do an entire episode around investing in mindset in crypto around this, is look at how large of a portion of population live their lives around sports, news, pop culture, and they have so much emotion into it, even though it doesn't do anything to improve their lives. And they get so caught up and muddled into that they're not looking at what is best for their lives and their families' lives. And I think that's a problem throughout society, is that you have to stay focused on the matters that you can change and not get so caught up in dwelling in the ones you can't. And I think that's an important psychological thing for us to get out there today, is to really understand the long-term implications here just can't be ignored. I think investors should always consider these psychological elements that are at play and really understand how to navigate the waters in these uncertain times.
Yeah, emotions cloud judgment, and with those things like sports, entertainment, that's the intention.
Yep.
It's to keep your judgment so clouded that either one side or the other can control you and keep you out of competition and building wealth, so the rich, the elite, and the wealthy can continue to get richer than they already are. That's the whole point of the whole system.
Okay. Trump chooses J.D. Vance, an Ohio boy, and he's got a pro-crypto stance. So let's talk about that for a minute, of what that does with Vance being his running mate. And if we look at the history of J.D. Vance a little bit, he is being said to hold $250,000 worth of Bitcoin as per his 2022 financial disclosures. And I think with his pro-crypto stance, this could signal a push forward towards more positive regulatory changes. So I think it's a really strong move on Trump's perspective if Trump is going to continue on this path of being the crypto president. And so let's talk about that a little bit, because this could really encourage larger investment and adoption in the crypto space, with having both a president-elect and his running mate both being very pro-crypto. So for us being in the crypto space, again, this is not us endorsing Trump or JD Vance. This is us telling you the news and what we think its effects will have on the crypto markets coming up.
Yeah, so I think that him choosing that VP, a pro-crypto VP, is a big move for cryptocurrency. And the markets are reacting to that as well. And I think that it's going to be big for regulatory issues that are coming forward. I think that the election is also coming right at the cusp of the bull market. I think the bull market is going to start beforehand, but it will be right at the beginning of it. And I think these are all positive things, especially with him holding. He actually holds. He's sent Bitcoin. He's probably received it. He actually holds it in a wallet somewhere. So he knows how it all works. A lot of people are afraid of cryptocurrency because they don't know how it works. They're like, this magical coin out here, and they say that people scam with it and crime. That's why a lot of people have reservations against it. But with a vice president that sits in office, because I'll be honest, I doubt that Trump has actually sent or received Bitcoin directly. People do it for him, but this is a millennial. He's a lot younger, I'm pretty sure, and he didn't have the resources that Trump had to have people working for him, so he's done it himself. So just that experience is going to change his perspective of the entire crypto market, and to have somebody that high in the government that's actually done these things is a very positive sign for cryptocurrency.
It definitely is, but it also is positive for tech in general.
Yeah.
And you touched on his age, and I think that's just a really smart move, bringing in someone that's going to lure the younger voters, the people that want to see change in middle America, and adoption in crypto and understanding the tech sector, I think is a big move moving forward. So I like it, and I think the impact of having a presidential candidate who's openly supportive of cryptocurrencies definitely can't be understated. Trump's recent transformation into a crypto advocate, coupled with Vance's stance, signals a significant shift in the regulatory landscape, and this really should lead to a more stable environment for cryptocurrency and investing in it moving forward. And it's just huge. It's a really smart play by Trump's camp, and it could play out well, and we'll see what happens, and we'll definitely keep a close eye on what's going on.
Yeah, Trump has already promised to be the first crypto president. And the thing about that is that it's unprecedented, right? And we've seen over the last 3 or 4 days, even people like Elon Musk has put full endorsement behind Trump. The Winklevoss twins a lot of these tech leaders have said they would support Trump. So I think it's very positive. These are all positive signs for cryptocurrency, even though Elon Musk is a big cryptocurrency proponent. So I think, like I said, is that it's all positive signs, and I think it's a bright future ahead.
Yeah, the potential for regulatory clarity and support from the highest levels of government will definitely transform the crypto landscape. And with more institutional backing and a clearer regulatory framework, we will definitely see a significant rise in crypto adoption and integration into the traditional financial systems in the coming months and years. And I just think all of this accelerates the bull market that we believe is coming and the adoption rate, and just puts us in a really great spot in that timeline for where cryptocurrency is going in the coming months. And that leads me to the next point here that I think is very critical, and it just slid into the news cycle this week, and that is BlackRock's endorsement of Bitcoin as digital gold, because that really sparked a lot of buzz this week. And I just think it's really important that this endorsement could lead more conservative investors and major financial players to reconsider their stance on digital assets, driving further adoption and potentially boosting Bitcoin's value. So let's touch on this for a minute, because I was really happy to see this endorsement this week, and he really put himself out on the ledge there, and I like it.
Yeah, the concept of Bitcoin being digital gold has been floating around for years. So it's the first time that I've seen a major institution reaffirm that, that it is being seen as digital gold. I had a conversation with somebody. I was at a conference over the weekend, had a conversation with a guy, and me and him joke back and forth because he's always been dead set against Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And I'm like, yeah, what do you think about it now? He's, I still don't agree with it. I still don't believe it. And he does a counterpoint. He says, I thought Bitcoin was supposed to be this currency everybody was going to use. Look at what they're doing now. That means it's a scam because it's not there. They keep changing the use case. And I tell them, I said, most technologies start out as something completely different than what they end up being. And I gave the example of Twitter. Twitter was, Twitter came out, it was supposed to be it was no way to do, like we use group text now on iPhones. There was no group text back then. So Twitter was a replacement for that. Is that when I wanted to send a message to all my people at church about an event, I would text it and it would send it out to everybody. That's what Twitter started. Now it's a social media platform that's one of the biggest on earth. So things will evolve over time. Cryptocurrency and Bitcoin in general may have started as a cryptocurrency, but it's evolved into digital gold. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Every time someone argues with me over the use case of Bitcoin and they say, oh, nobody's ever going to go to Starbucks and use Bitcoin to buy a coffee, I always laugh because it just means that they missed the boat and they're going to continue to admonish it as a bad thing because they didn't invest in it early. So they're going to try and pull out the it's a scam. But I always ask them, here's my response to them. I always say, how often do you go to Starbucks and pay with gold? And they get silent and they look at me all weird. And I'm like, seriously, we all own gold. We talk about gold as a store of value and a good investment. I've never once pulled out a bar of gold or a gold coin and be like, here you go, ma'am. And I've never once paid for coffee with gold. So people need to realize Bitcoin has changed. Are we going to use it in our daily purchases to go to Starbucks or McDonald's or wherever you shop? No. But the answer is it's a hell of a lot easier to travel if you're traveling across country or out of the country, or you have multiple homes to carry your Bitcoin than it is gold. So people just need to understand that there are always going to be pivots of where something starts and what its use case is to understand the end result. And I just don't see a world where most of the cryptos we talk about are not great places to invest in and store value. So I think that this endorsement definitely solidifies Bitcoin's position as a solid investment. And we will definitely see even more institutional and interest driving adoption further and boosting Bitcoin's value significantly.
Yeah, when a giant like BlackRock endorses Bitcoin as digital gold, it's going to send shockwaves through the industry. And then all the smaller banks, all the similar institutions, they're going to start seeing it the same way. BlackRock is a leader in this market. It's not like a small bank or small institution out there. So when BlackRock starts to say something, markets move and people start making adjustments. So I think it's huge, this announcement or this proclamation as they see Bitcoin as digital gold is huge. I think it's going to open up a whole new world of education initiatives. It's going to open up a whole new world of an expansion of the DeFi applications that are being written on the blockchain. And a lot of these pro-bank type apps that are written on top of the blockchain, I think it's going to expand all of that. And I think that seeing institutions like BlackRock announce that Bitcoin is digital gold is going to be just the beginning of the expansion of a much larger shift in how we view and how we utilize digital currencies.
I agree, Armando. I feel like we're on the verge of a significant financial transformation, and it's exciting times for us to be following these developments firsthand and really to be involved in this, because we both know in the coming years, 2, 3, 5, 10 years, that many millionaires are going to be made out of this crypto market and sector as an investment strategy. And I'm just so happy that we get to be part of it and really educate people, because it is very educational to learn and understand where to invest, how to invest, what products to invest in. And so it's very exciting for me to see all of this. And then when you get the BlackRock CEO coming in and really bolstering everything that we've been saying for years, it's just awesome for the future of the crypto markets. And I'm very excited because we have Ethereum coming up right now where trading is going to happen. We've got all of this incredible news in the crypto markets. And so it's just a great time to be involved and be an investor in these markets.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy next 6 months, and everybody needs to stay on top of the developments, because day to day things are going to change so fast that you have to be ready. You have to stay on top. You have to be informed in order to make decisions that could affect your life for the next 30 years.
I agree. And I want to break that down for a second. When Armando says stay involved and stay up to date, that does not mean day trading. That does not mean doing all kinds of crazy tactics to build up your portfolio, but it does mean staying connected to the information and actively managing your portfolios, whether it's in crypto or stocks or ETFs or whatever it may be. Active management does not mean you're day trading. It just means you're keeping your eye on the prize, and I think that's very important. So let's go into the next section, and that is the upcoming Ethereum ETFs, which is incredible. We just got confirmation in the last couple days that they are set to begin trading on Tuesday, July 23rd, as confirmed by Bloomberg and several other sources. And regulatory developments, the SEC has requested issuers to include the sponsor fee in their updated S1 filings. And it's just great because all the major giants, the Wall Street giants like BlackRock, Fidelity, Van Eck, are all leading the charge. And Ethereum pricing should see immediate benefits from this launch on July 23rd. The buzz has been there. Everyone's talking about it. Now we have a solid date of when Ethereum starts trading in the ETFs, and it's going to be interesting to see the volume of trading and what it looks like on that opening day of July 23rd and then thereafter. So it's going to be exciting times. We're already seeing crypto in general going up, and Ethereum has been creeping up as well leading up to this announcement. So it's definitely very exciting.
Ethereum is still far away from all-time highs. The all-time high of Ethereum was 4,800. It hasn't even got close to that this cycle. So I think there's more. Bitcoin is touched even past this all-time high. So I think that the potential in Ethereum is higher right now than Bitcoin. I think if we look at from where we are now to where the top of the market's going to be on this cycle, I think Ethereum has more percentage gains still left in Bitcoin. I'm not saying Bitcoin is bad, but I just think Ethereum has more room to grow, especially with the ETF on the horizon. And people don't realize is that back in February, we actually said, and you can look, I don't know what episode number, but it's there. We said that in May, there was a 75% chance they would approve the Ethereum ETF. And they said if we approve it in May, it'll be trading by July. That's what we said. And it's exactly coming to pass, exactly as we said. And if you look at the atmosphere around that, many people said, including Michael Saylor said they never approve it.
Yep.
And people were like, oh, they're not going to approve it. They're never going to do this. And it played out exactly as we thought. And we've profited from that. And that's the importance of what Robert was saying earlier, is staying on top of the news and executing based on your information or understanding of what's happening. And you can make a lot of money just based on that. But like I said, with the entry of BlackRock, Fidelity into the Ethereum ETF space, this is monumental, right? This is huge. For people who've been in crypto for 10 years or so, this is something we never even believed was possible. That's how far we are in crypto. Yeah. And that's why we are on the cusp of a major bull cycle, because we've never experienced a bull cycle in crypto before with two major ETFs out, with institutional money flowing into those ETFs, retail money, retirement account money. I think this is going to be a huge bull market cycle, and I still have Bitcoin at 250, Ethereum at 15,000.
And one of the things you touched on, but you glossed over is, and we talk about this all the time in our public lives, is everyone needs to understand Michael Saylor has a reason to say that Ethereum ETFs are never going to get approved. It's because he is a Bitcoin maximalist. He wants everyone to invest in his company and into Bitcoin. So he has skin in the game to say that. And that is why I am always preaching to the mountaintops for everyone not to have knee-jerk reactions, because any one of those people that have huge audiences can sway the markets to the benefit of them and their investors. And that's why you have to find neutral parties like us here at Crypto Trends Podcast that are going to shoot it to you straight, because nobody owns us, nobody pays us, and we have no skin in the game for any one certain cryptocurrency or investment. And that is why you have to learn, when in doubt, zoom out and look at the totality of the information in the markets so you can understand the best moves moving forward.
And I want to touch on something else, and you're 100% right, is you have to understand these things because you need to be able to perform the best moves going forward. Anybody can pick something, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but you have to be able to pick the best move going forward. And I like the way that you said that. Just going back to Ethereum, is I think that this new ETF is going to affect the market dynamics greatly. And I'll tell you why. It's because if you go in the street right now to the average person and we say, hey, name a crypto, they're going to say Bitcoin. Name another one, they're going to say, I don't know.
Right.
Most people don't even know Ethereum exists.
They know Dogecoin more than they know Ethereum, even though Ethereum is a life-changing investment opportunity. That's the crazy part.
We should actually do that. Go out to the street with one of these mics and ask people questions like that. So if you guys want to see that, put it in the comments on the Spotify or YouTube or whatever. Well, we may do it. But the ETF is going to, when it's announced, the media around it, the hoopla around it, when it's available in people's retirement accounts, now it's going to draw attention to Ethereum. Ethereum started in 2015, so it has a Bitcoin has a 6-year lead time on it. So Ethereum is less mature, has a lot more room to grow, and I think that it's a new attention is going to increase trading volumes, and it's going to increase the overall interest in the Ethereum markets, and could lead to a much greater price. I think it will. I'm certain it will. I'll say that, and it's going to create a more mature market in and around Ethereum.
Indeed, the approval of these spot Ethereum ETFs is not just a milestone for Ethereum, it is for the entire crypto ecosystem. And it really is a sign that regulatory bodies are beginning to recognize the importance of integrating digital assets into the traditional financial markets. And so we're witnessing the evolution of the financial landscape right before our eyes, and we are really able to take advantage of all of this because you have us here every single day digging in, finding the best news, finding the best cases, and really uncovering our best strategies to help all of you navigate the crypto markets. So I want to thank each and every one of you for listening and following along. You can find us on Instagram at Crypto Trends Podcast and on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. We are so excited for the remainder of 2024 and sharing all of our crypto insights with all of you. And as always, if you love the podcast, please share it with a friend and give it a 5-star review, and we'll see you next week.